What's going on? Welcome to the Shonee the Money Pick'em Show. This is episode 2. I do a slate of college football games, pick them against the spread, tell you my favorite ones, the ones that I'll be taking in real life, and for the integrity of the show, I pick all of the games against the spread going into each individual week of college football. So thanks for tuning in. I love this show. It's a lot shorter. Send it to your friends if you subscribe to the channel. Tell them subscribe. Last week I went 8-3 on my picks. This week I expect to do the same. I expect to do this week in, week out. Showing the Money Pick'em Show. Ride my picks. Join the clan. Join the cult. And let's have some fun. Let's get right into it, starting at the very top. Arizona State at Texas State. Set the over-under point total is set at 59.5, and Arizona State is a 1.5 point favorite. How can I go any other way in this than picking Texas State money line? If Texas State is within 2 points of the spread of a Power 4 football team in Arizona State or a team in the Power 4, you got to ride with the team just south of Austin, Texas, in San Marcos, the Texas State Bobcats. Eat 'em up, Cats. I'm going to take Texas State money line, and I'm going to take the over 59.5. Arizona State versus Texas State. Got to be a lot of points in this game. If Texas State's going to win it, they got to score a lot. I doubt that they have a daunting defense. Sorry, I haven't done all my research on the Bobcats, but Texas State money line in that game. Let's move on to Arizona at number 14, Kansas State. All right, what is the good old saying? Good teams win, great teams cover. I think Kansas State is going to be the epitome of this year. I think they win by a field goal, 3 to 6 points, but they do not cover -7.5 against Arizona. Noah Fafita, the stud receiver, drawing a blank. Let me pull it up real quick. McMillan, I think is his name. Yeah, Noah McFita and Terry McMillan. McMillan has 12 receptions on 315 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think that happened in the first game of the season. I expect him to have a big game against Kansas State. And yet, if Kansas State wants to win this game, they're going to condense it, control time of possession like they do, make this a Kansas State football game. I'm projecting them to win, but not to cover, and I will take the under of 60.5. That is a lot of points for a Kansas State Chris Kleiman football game. The under of 16.5. And Arizona +7. Give me the points with Arizona and give me the under on that game. Move on to, again, good teams win, great teams cover. I think Kansas State is a good team, not a great team, but they will be in the Big 12 championship game. LSU at South Carolina. This was one of the game of the weeks on the SJ show. I did a full breakdown of this game, what I expect, the keys to victory on both wins. Tune into that if you want to look at that. I'll clip it for you as well. But I am going to take LSU -7 in this game. I am not betting it in real life. I would not touch it in real life, but I'm going to take LSU -7 in this game and under 50.5. It's going to be a wet, sloppy game. Neither team has a run game. One will have to establish it to win it. I hope LSU establishes and finds some form of a running game in this game, but it's such a must-win for the LSU football team. They are more talented, and they have the ability to cancel out the South Carolina pass rush with their really good pass protection at LSU and some of those really good offensive linemen that they have. So depending on that, depending on Garrett Nussmeier being the better quarterback and LSU taking care of the football, winning the turnover battle in a raining game at South Carolina, I will take LSU to cover because they have to. They have to. They don't win this game, hot seat is all the way up on Brian Kelly. I do not care what you say. You guys need to take this seriously. If you are a serious program at LSU, in the program that you've been my entire life, cannot lose this game. Have to beat South Carolina. Got to get it rolling right now. I think they absolutely should and will. LSU -7 and the under at 50.5. Moving on, UTSA at number 2 Texas. Texas set at 35 point favorites. Over 54.5. Texas -35 and the over. Texas is an absolute wagon. Texas might cover the 54 themselves in this game. I think Sark wants to do a 50-burger badly. I think he wants to put up a lot of points and just keep the foot on the gas pedal. This Texas team is a true national contender. What I said about Kansas State applies here. Good teams win, great teams cover. Texas is the wagon of the season for you guys. Texas -35, the over 54.5. Tulane at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is -13.5 point favorites. The over-under is set at 51.5. I am not going to touch the point total in this game, but what I am going to touch is the Tulane money line. Not often am I going to take a double-digit money line, but when I see one that I think is tasty, boy, am I going to take it. Tulane, and I predicted this in the offseason, Oklahoma would lose 2 games before they played the Texas Longhorns. I think it's 2 games. Hold on, let me check that real quick. Not a fact checker, not a fact-checking podcast. I promise you that. It's 3 games. They would lose 2 of the 3 games stumbling into the Texas game. They might lose 3 of 3 when they go to Auburn after these next 2. I think it starts right here, Tulane coming into Norman and that struggling offense. The receivers look bad at Oklahoma. I get they're getting some reinforcements back, but they look like they're bad instinctually. They are just outright bad. They're not creating enough separation. They're not making the right decisions. The running back, they haven't established a running game. The running backs aren't smart. They're protecting when there's nobody to block. They're not flanking out, giving Jackson Arnold any options. I think Jackson Arnold is slowly progressing, slowly, still has a lot of things he's struggling with. He is not sharp with the reads yet. He's not progressing very fast, and that's going to be a problem in the SEC. But I just think they're struggling too much offensively. There's too many unanswered questions. And listen, that is not the 85 Bears defense that they think it is. I think it's good. I think Brent Venables causes problems. But this Tulane team has a lot of experience, good receivers that will challenge this Oklahoma team. Tulane money line at Oklahoma as the 13.5-point dogs. Let me see what the money line is set at in this game. Plus 425 for Tulane on the money line. That's $100 to win 425. Tulane money line at Oklahoma. The Oklahoma domino effect of disappointment starts this week. Moving on. Alabama at Wisconsin, a game I'm not touching in real life. Alabama is 16-point favorites. 50.5 is the over-under total. I will go with the under on this game as a bet. And for the sake of the show, I'm going to bet all the games on the spread. I will go Alabama minus 16 because they are a lot better than Wisconsin. But there's a huge but. If not, I am all the way out on Alabama this year if they can't cover against Wisconsin. I watched that full game against South Florida, and that game was a lot closer than the score shows. And Jalen Milroe has just not earned my confidence in him yet. He needed to make a major jump as a passer this year in his consistency with his accuracy and his consistency with his decision-making and how fast he makes the decisions. I'm not saying he's making as bad and sloppy decisions as he was a year ago, but he's not processing as quickly, and I don't always agree. Say he reads man coverage, logic tells you Ryan Williams, just go to Ryan Williams. We got man coverage. Let's go to my best guy. Let's go to Ryan Williams. But an elite quarterback would say, what is the hardest route to cover on this play? I'm going to look at that first, and I can come back to Ryan Williams if it's not there quickly. You know what? They're bringing a pressure read. I get you don't got a lot of time, but there's times where he's just going to Ryan Williams on a 9 route in man coverage, and he's got a crossing route, having defenders run into each other in some of those LiPo route concepts that's going to be very hard to cover a man beater, and he could go to that instead, right? Just little things like that, and then some accuracy issues that still exist. I'm worried about them. If that exists, they might not cover. 16 is a lot of points for a team that I still think has some questions at the quarterback position, but give me Alabama minus 16 and give me the under at 50.5. Memphis at Florida State. Like the Tulane game, I brought it up in the Shonee Jackson podcast today. Like the Tulane game, it's one of those, if you're a non-Power 5 team, non-Power 4, I keep doing that wants to make the playoffs this year, which one of these close losses is going to be the most impressive? As of right now, probably Boise State. So, Memphis, who is my preseason pick to make the playoffs, I think this is a must-win against Florida State. Florida State is 6.5-point favorites, over-under set at 52.5. Give me the Memphis money line and give me the over of 52.5. All right? Actually, scratch that. Memphis money line, under 52.5. Florida State's just going to struggle offensively. Give me a Memphis money line, under 52.5. Let's move on. Boston College at Missouri. This is interesting. They are giving Missouri 17 points. Missouri is currently the number 6 team in the country. I get it. Missouri started off very strongly. I like Missouri's roster. I like their chances this year as well. They're getting a lot of respect. They haven't given up a point yet. They've blown out Murray State and Buffalo, 2 very bad football teams, 51-0, 38-0. Boston College, on the other hand, is 2-0. They beat Florida State badly in week 2. Castellanos, a very good quarterback. He's playing well. Billy O, coaching the team in year 2. Bill O'Brien back home in Boston. I guess that's really his destiny, I feel like, being the Boston College head coach. They're playing well. 16 is a lot of points, and I think too many points right now. We're kind of sunshine pumping and giving a lot of rat poison to this Missouri football team. Give me the points. Missouri to win, Boston College to cover, plus 17 and over 53.5 point total. You got weapons like Luther Burden. Boston College can put up points in that offense with Bill O'Brien, Castellanos at quarterback. Theo Weiss is at Missouri now. You know, they're going to put up some points. I think Boston College will be able to put up some points. Give me the over and give me Boston College with the points at plus 17. Moving on, Oregon State, the Civil War. Oregon is given 16 points, and the over-under is set at 50.5. Give me the over of 50.5, and you know what? I've said it. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to fade Oregon until they prove me wrong. They keep giving them double-digit favorites out of every game. I think that is all from preseason hype. Now, I don't know anything about Oregon State, and everything tells me Oregon has struggled 2 weeks in a row. Vegas and the odds makers are still giving them all these points. You should definitely bet Oregon. Logically, the logical bet would take Oregon with the points. So don't ride me here. I'm going to put my actual money on Oregon State plus 16 with the points just because Oregon has not shown that they can cover a double-digit favorite yet. Until they do that, I can't trust them to do so. I thought they were overrated coming into the season. I think they'll continue to show that. Give me Oregon State with the points, with Oregon to win the Civil War, of course, but not to cover, in the over of 50.5 or 53.5. No, it's 50.5. I had that right. So over 50.5 and Oregon State to cover the points. Like I said, good teams win, great teams cover. Oregon has not shown that they're a great team yet. Notre Dame at Purdue. Notre Dame is given 10 points. Over-under set at 45.5. Give me the under of that and give me Purdue to cover the plus 10. Hudson Card at Purdue. Got to go with the Austin kid here. Hudson Card at Purdue. Not going to touch this game in real life. But give me Hudson Card and Purdue to cover the points at plus 10 and the under at 45.5. I kind of have a rule. When the over-under is set under 50, take the under. When it's set over 60, take the over. They're trying to entice you to do the opposite. Let's take the under. Notre Dame looks offensively incompetent. Purdue is not going to light the world on fire offensively. They just don't got the guys to do it. But I think Hudson Card can make some plays and cover the 10-point spread here. If not, maybe even push them to a win. And then A&M at Florida. Let's move on to A&M at Florida. Right now, A&M is 3.5-point favorites going to the Swamp. Over-under set at 46.5. Give me the over and give me the Florida money line. Why? A&M has not won a road game since 2021. I don't think it's starting at the Swamp. A&M has just as many quarterback problems as the Florida Gators do, and I think Florida Gators have a more talented one in DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway will have more moments in this game, breakout moments, than Connor Weigman will have in that boring-ass Colin Klein offense. That Colin Klein offense is boring as hell. It's going to continue to be boring as hell. At the end of the day, Florida's got guys on their roster. They can play fast. They can play physical. They can get going. This is a must-win if Billy Napier wants to even make it through the season without getting fired. The schedule only gets harder for Florida. So give me Florida to win this one, money line in the Swamp, and give me the over of 46.5. I just broke my rule. You know what? I'm not going to break my rule right after giving you the rule. Give me Florida money line and the under 46.5. Florida money line under 46.5 in the Swamp this week. I think the disaster of A&M just continues. It'll eventually continue for Florida, but maybe they spark some magic and some hope for that fan base and for recruiting if DJ Lagway can make some plays this week against A&M. So Florida money line under 46.5. Washington State at Washington. Washington is 4.5-point favorites. Over-under set at 55.5. Just give me the over in that game. For the sake of the show, I'll take Washington to cover. Washington State did just blow out Texas Tech, so maybe they're nothing to sneeze with this year. I'm not sure. But give me Washington minus 4.5 and the over at 55.5. That feels like an over game. West Virginia at Pitt, the backyard brawl should be a hard-nosed game. Over-under sit at 6. Well, actually the opposite of that. It's called the backyard brawl, but I think it's going to be the opposite of a hard-nosed game. 63.5 is the point total of the over-under. Give me the over. I will follow my rule. If it's set over 60, take the over. If it's set under 50, take the under. Give me the over of 63.5. Garrett Green at West Virginia making some plays. Pitt to make some plays, score a lot of points. West Virginia is set at -2. Give me the Pitt Panthers money line on that game. This should just be a pick 'em, so fuck it. Give me the Pitt Panthers money line and the over at 63.5. Ole Miss at Wake Forest. I do think Ole Miss will be a wagon this year. I think they'll be a wagon under Lane Kiffin. All you got to do is hear him talk to know what he's got on that roster this year. Like I said in the preseason, I got Ole Miss in my SEC championship game. They finally got the guys up front that they've never had before at Ole Miss. So give me Ole Miss to cover minus 24 at Wake Forest, and give me the over at 64.5 because Lane Kiffin loves to pour it on. They're the better, superior team across the board, offensively and defensively. I'm going to tell you right now, Walter Nolan's going to fuck that slow mesh up, and that Ole Miss defense is going to ruin that slow mesh up. But Lincoln Riley will pour on enough points, score over 50, and then whatever Wake Forest scores beyond that will supplement to get you the over. To follow my rule there and take the over at 64.5. All right, Colorado at Colorado State. Colorado is at -7. The over-under is set at 58.5. Man, give me Colorado State with the points at +7. Colorado should not be a touchdown favorite. I'll pick Colorado to win the game by a field goal, but they should not be a touchdown favorite. Colorado State's coming in. I showed the video on my Shonee Jackson show. Colorado State players are talking a lot of noise. They're very confident. They believe they should have won the game last year. I believe they should have won the game last year. They're at home. Give me them with the points, and give me the over at 58.5. Colorado has the worst rushing defense in America, even though they talk more trash than anybody in America. Shedeur Sanders on the back end, who is a good open field tackler, to say the least. He's a good open field tackler. He just broke his arm getting beat up against Nebraska, and don't have him anymore on the back end. So Colorado State's going to break off a lot of runs, a lot of long touchdown runs. But on the other end, I don't know who Colorado State has to stop Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., and Shedeur Sanders in that offense. They're not going to be able to apply the pressure that Nebraska was able to apply to disrupt that offense. So a lot of points in this game. I will take Shedeur and those guys to pull through in a very tight shootout. Will not be surprised at all if Colorado State wins in this game. Give me Colorado State +7. Georgia, Kentucky, one of my favorite bets of the week. This is my last pick. Before I give you my favorite bets that I will actually be taking for you to ride with me, showing you the money picks of the week. So Georgia will be on that slate. Georgia at Kentucky. Georgia is at 21.5. I think the only reason this isn't at 30 is because there's a hurricane in the southeast. It's going to affect this game. There's going to be a lot of rain, but I would take Georgia at -35. I love Georgia at -21.5. And I'll set it at the under at 45.5 because Georgia is going to goose egg Kentucky in this game. Mark Stoops and that bullshit ass program that he has at Kentucky, where they are offensively incompetent and always have been, always will be. This Georgia defense is way too good. The rain is only going to hurt them more than it hurts Georgia. I think Georgia will load the box from start to finish in this game, play man coverage, have no issue doing so with that elite secondary that they have. And they're going to dominate Kentucky start to finish. You saw South Carolina absolutely wreck that Kentucky backfield all day long. 5-star freshman Dylan Stewart, like I said, looked like a video game character. And so I think Georgia's going to dominate this game start to finish. Goose egg them around 35-0, 42-0 at most. And set the over-under set at 45.5. So Georgia -21.5, easy. One of the better, the Shonee the Money picks of the week, and the under at 45.5. So that's my slate of games on the Shonee the Money Pick'em show. Let me quickly give you the Shonee the Money picks of the week, the ones I'm taking in real life. I just told you I'm taking Georgia at -21.5. I will be taking the under as well at -45. I'm taking Ole Miss at -24. I love them as a wagon this year. I am taking Texas -35. We'll take them every single week. They are truly an absolute wagon, in the over at 54.5 in that game versus UTSA. And I'm going to take the Memphis money line, and I will be taking the Tulane money line as well. I'm actually very confident in both of those bets. And then the Florida money line, I'm confident in that. So my Shonee the Money picks of the week: Georgia -21.5. Oh, add Colorado State +7 to that. So Shonee the Money picks of the week on the Shonee the Money Pick'em show: Georgia -21.5, and the under of 45.5 of that game. Colorado State +7 and the over of 58.5 in that game. Ole Miss -24. Georgia, I already said that. Sorry. Florida money line and under 46.5 in that game. Memphis money line at Florida State and the under at 52.5 in that game. Texas -35 and the over of 54.5. And Tulane money line versus Oklahoma. So that's the Shonee the Money Pick'em show today, episode 2, and those were the Shonee the Money Pick'em picks of the week on the Shonee the Money Pick'em show. I love you guys. The more you know, not as much as you think. Please share the show with as many friends as you think would like it. Like, subscribe to the program. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Goodbye. See you next week.